Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to be here at the All Morning Mall. In the background, you notice a handicapped person there. This episode is going to be a mini breakdown on any new revelations and also an explanation of my whole escapade scenario doing what's called IRL, in real life YouTube streaming, where people can do commentary and they can even donate $5 in order to say something silly via a speakerphone to in directed towards people in proximity. So, for example, if they see somebody who's they think is stupid, they say, "Hey, you in the white shirt, you're a stupid idiot." And it's controversial. It's fun. It's also can go too far, and that was my thought on it. But I'm going to include a link to one of the videos on YouTube that shows what it's all about. It's an unusual experience, but it is what it is. Like, we got kicked. I did it on someone else's stream, but basically, like, I got kicked off of more than one bus doing it, just playing the speaker, and it's just an unusual experience. But hopefully people found some entertainment in it. Like I was saying, though, back to the subject at hand, whether it's somebody in a wheelchair or somebody on the side of the road that looks disheveled or misfortuned, the reality is we're all in it together. There is no way to escape or circumnavigate the reality of unity consciousness of, hey, it's all us. And that's why I like to express my concepts and strategies to approach different situations. For example, I'm not a fan of governments helping people with standard medical or with things like food stamps, I think, or housing. I think there should be very simple structures made where it's just, a roof, and it just gets sprayed down every day, and it's segregated, half for men, half for women, and then the other third for children. And I feel like that would be inexpensive. And the same goes with food. I think it should be low-cost food presented to people of less fortune, and that there shouldn't be any privileges given for them to be allowed to go around and be like, oh, I'm gonna buy Haagen-Dazs ice cream or whatever I want. No, I don't think it's fair to the American taxpayer. That considered, other elements, including not overburdening the privatized prison system. I think there are people that need to be executed humanely because they're just detracting from society and costing society whatever it is, $20,000 or more dollars a year to house them. Why not invest in their future incarnations and make the world a wonderful place? But that takes strategy and that takes change. People might say I'm controversial, but unorthodox. But guess what? Your system is not working. There is not a sense of happiness and joy. The idea of the idea that oh, somehow I want to live the last years of my life in suffering. It's a choice. You can just overdose on whatever it is, whatever drug makes for a nice, pleasant departure from the body. Leave the body. It's no longer serving you. It's time to get a new body. Very doable. In any case, you know, some people have children, and I think that that's the main source of conflict as far as resulting, everything stems from childhood, and I think there should be certain certifications required for people to be like good parents. And in China there's a restriction on how many children are had. I think there should be just laws that restrict people from just having kids if, say, they're unhealthy, or have limited financial resources. And that's how we make freedom. That's the actual root of problems. A lot of people just like to deal with the end result of people growing up poor and in single parent households. In any case, it's the law of nature. The strong will survive and the smart will thrive. And by the way, that idea of not just making a living but actually making life, that has to do with when you have enough to meet your basic needs, immediately doing what you think is the most important for the world. And that means is choosing. Let's say you think, for example, like me, you think veganism is a great approach to world betterment. Then working at a non-vegan restaurant would be contrary to your position. And remember, also, as far as that, and a lot of vegans might disagree with me. I feel like the right way to do things is to prioritize people over humans, like not be trying to stop people who are, for example, whaling in Japan, or people are trying to help endangered species and whatnot. Like, what about the people? Prioritize the people, not some random, let's invest in space exploration. Like, there's people suffering in the world. Unless you want your next incarnation to be negatively influenced by that, then I suggest that you these nice sewing machines. I suggest that you take action in this lifetime. And the brilliance of that is, even if you don't have a perfect life, even if maybe your body isn't suitable for a dream mate relationship where you guys can have nice intimacy and what have you, guess what? You can still make a choice that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to choose something. I'm going to choose what I want to do. And you might think that you need money to do this, but there's money, resources, and people everywhere. You need people to do stuff, and the way to motivate and inspire people is by interactions and coming up with new concepts, which is what I do. It's the beginning of how things happen. That's how we start it all off. And so I'm going to conclude with this whole idea of the IRL. This what this is I'm going to include a link below. I'm sure you'll find some entertainment value in it. But basically, it's people from throughout the country, America, watching people live stream their lives as they walk around, and a little bit of entertainment, a little controversy. But we interviewed people, like asked them about religion, asked them, funny questions. Thanks for considering, and click the link below.